Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of PlayFrugal Reviews. Tonight we're looking at War in a Box Paper Tanks, and that's from the fine folks at DQ Team. Came out with this game in 2014, and we picked it up for $1.47 from Instant Gaming. It's currently listed on Steam for $4.99, so even if you paid full price for it, you're still not talking about a whole lot of money here. But basically, it's a tower defense game with a slight twist. You see, everything is made out of cardboard. Your turrets are made out of cardboard. Your opponents are made out of cardboard. You have tanks and armored cars and planes, and later in higher levels you get zeppelins, and you're going to have machine guns, cannons, and artillery and flak towers to counteract them. But enough of me blabbing about it. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at it, and we'll just pick a level here to get started. You see they give you a slight briefing showing you your variety of towers, your machine gun, cannon, flak, and artillery towers. And this is the first level in which they add tanks. And as you can see, we have two different kinds of planes. You've got tanks, heavy armored cars, and light armored cars. And we'll go ahead and take a look. And you can see here from the start that this is a cardboard look, and you can go down, we can zoom in and see the corrugation on the cardboard. We can rotate it around and look at the map from any angle we like. Alright, we can zoom in here, we can look from that angle if we like that best. So they've done a nice job with the cameras. Sometimes you see these games where the camera angles are kind of janky. It really does affect your gameplay. But I prefer the straight top-down approach just because I get the greatest overview of the entire board. And what you've got is you've got your vehicles are going to come here from the left-hand box, and you can see by the arrows they'll go around your route track here, out and about, and curl back, and they come into this box. Now your planes, your aerial vehicles, will come from this box. They'll come across, generally fly down through here, and then end up over in this box over here. So you've got to place your flak towers along their flight path. And one of the things that's kind of nifty about this game is actually they take physics into account. You see these trees, the cannon's not going to be able to shoot through a tree. So you've got to look at what is around your placement before you place a given tower. In fact, some of the levels, some of the tower placements are completely surrounded by trees. So the only thing that's really going to work there is an artillery placement, something that shoots up straight and then arcs over, as opposed to a flat gun or a machine gun, which is just going to hit the trees or rocks or whatever happens to be in your way here. Also, these vehicles here, when you shoot the vehicles and destroy them, they actually linger for a moment, and they actually can shield other vehicles. So again, it's something you need to be cognizant of as you're playing through. But I've done a lot of talking and not a lot of playing, so let's fix that really quick. Get back to my overhead view, and we'll start by placing a couple towers. And tower number one, I'll go ahead and I've actually started it here. A flak tower, and we'll put a cannon here. Now each one can be upgraded from these are initially obviously level 1. They can go up to level 3, so you can upgrade them twice from their original point, but they don't branch. In other words, like with Kingdom and Rush, for example, once you upgraded a mage tower, you could go one direction with it and have an elemental, and another direction you can have the death rays. But here it's just straightforward. You have from cannon to bigger cannon to even bigger cannon than that, and and so forth with all the other towers. They don't change their properties or their abilities in any way. Now you can look up your top here. I didn't mention this. This is the radar. That means there's airplanes coming in here because they're on top, and vehicles coming in here, and they basically tell you what the levels of each of them are. Greens are the easies, on up to the reds, which are the tougher, more armored vehicles. We'll put her down another cannon to handle. We got some of the bigger, tougher vehicles coming through. But as I really do like the style that they've gone with here. I think it's kind of a nifty take on the tower defense genre. the military theme with the bi and triplanes and the armor tanks. It's actually like a World War One-ish kind of vibe, and obviously that's kind of a little bit different than what we're used to seeing from tower defense. Like I said, for originality, I definitely have to give it to them on that score. I do, however, wish that there was a bigger variety of towers, a bigger variety of solutions that are available. Because one of the things that I found is that once you've solved a particular level, you've gotten what the one solution available is, um, and because that's really what it is. There's really no other combination of towers except for on the easier levels, which will work. Either you find one that works or it doesn't work, and there's no kind of in between. So once you've figured out the level, you figured it. You figured it out, and there's not a lot of point to replaying it unless you just kind of like the easy cruise through. So I do have a knock on the game there in terms of its replayability, something that is much less of a problem with something like Kingdom Rush than what we see here. Um, so, but like I said, we paid less than $1.50 for it, so we're not going to complain too loudly about whatever issues we found. We've already got 6 or 7 hours in this game, so we've already more than gotten our money's worth. But is it as good a value as we say? Let's say, going back to the last game we reviewed, Tower Defense, the Kingdom Rush, and I would say no, unless the cartoony style of the Kingdom Rush really gets to you. If you're going to have a game that you're going to play over and over again, probably Kingdom Rush is going to draw you in. Although until you solve each of the levels on this particular game, it's just as addictive, and so you're going to get your money's worth right up front. At least from our perspective. Yours may differ, and as always, if your opinion differs, or even if you agree, make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know. We want to know how you're feeling about what we're doing here and the games that we're choosing. So, like I said, this is another tower defense. We'll be going on to probably a different variety game next time, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and keep going with this. We'll go ahead and put in another tower here, upgrade this one a little bit, because these red planes, biplanes, are a little bit tougher. So we want to give them all the help we can. Now I've just placed an artillery tower, and you'll see it'll start launching bomblets here in a minute or two. All right, we're going to upgrade this one again. Start taking those out. Now from here, we'll place another cannon, but at this point, we've pretty much got this level knocked. It's just a matter of time and making it happen. So what I'm going to do is I will probably go ahead and speed it up just a little bit, so you guys aren't sitting here watching me play this too much. Kind of get to the meat of it. And while we're watching this play out, I'll let you know. I think overall we've looked at it and all the different pieces to put them together, and I think what you end up with is about something that's either a 7, 7.5, somewhere in there. I don't know what my final is, but I'm probably leaning towards a 7, simply because so we gave Kingdom Rush a little higher score, which it deserves. So we can't obviously rate this one higher than what we thought of Kingdom Rush, unless you're purely going off of the vibe of the World War One with the graphics. And again, that may be more to your style. So even though there might be a little more replayability with Kingdom Rush, you may prefer this simply because it's more up your alley. And the great thing about these games, and not just this particular game or Kingdom Rush, is one of the things we love about gaming in general is just the fact that, hey, whatever we like isn't necessarily what you're going to like, but we can at least give you an idea of where we're coming from and what we're thinking. And then with the comments that you guys feed back to us, we can get the same back from you guys, which is one of the coolest things about what we do. So right now we've placed all of our towers. Everything is fully upgraded. So we're just kind of letting it play out. And I could show you just what triple speed looks like here for a minute because we have done that. And you see, it's pretty quick. And we can play it out. We'll just slow it back down to double speed. just so you can get a better view, because this may be your first time looking at the gameplay and you don't want me to just zap through it real quickly. But in any case, if this review decided made you decide to either get it or not get War in a Box Paper Tanks, then please leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, whatever works for you, maybe both. We're not going to complain about either one. But in any case, thanks for joining us for another episode of PlayFrugal Reviews, and we will see you soon. Until then, enjoy.